Let's go ahead and run through a quick example issuing bonds at a premium. Now let's take the same bond example we had in the previous slideshow. 2-year, $100,000 face value, 10% coupon bond issued on January 1st, 01, interest paid annually at the end of each year, and maturing 12/31/02. Now let's assume that it's sold to yield 8%, a market rate of 8%. Again, what that means is the market only demands 8% from this borrower, but the bond has been set up to pay 10%. The bond pays more than required, so everybody's going to say, hey, this is a great bond, and they're going to start bidding the price up. And they'll bid the price up until the yield is equal to the market rate of 8%. The interest has a present value of $17,832.65. The principal present value, again, the present value of a single sum, is $85,733.88 for a total present value of $103,566.53. Again, it's sold for more than face value. That extra $3,566.53 is referred to as a premium on bonds payable. It's sort of the counterpart to a discount on bonds payable. In this case, premiums, or in all cases, premiums reduce our borrowing costs. Now we're going to have to pay $10,000 in annual cash interest, but for the bond itself, we borrowed $103,566. We only have to return $100,000. We get to keep the extra $3,566. So that extra money serves to offset part of our borrowing costs. Let's go ahead and record that bond issuance. So we take in $103,566.53 from our bond buyers. The bonds payable liability is recorded at face value as always, and the difference is recorded as a premium on bonds payable. And again, that's a credit balance account, so on the balance sheet that's going to be added to our liability bonds payable to get the carrying value. Now let's go ahead and set up an effective interest amortization table. Recall that the bonds were sold for $103,566.53. And again, think of the three-step process we do. We take the carrying value, multiply that by the effective rate to get interest expense, subtract the cash interest, and the difference is the amortization. And again, in this case, note that the amortization figure has a minus sign in front of it. $8,285 minus $10,000 is negative $1,715.68. In the second year, the carrying value changes by the amount of that amortization. So it's going to drop by $1,715.68 down to $101,851.86. And we repeat the process. Multiply that by the effective rate. That gives us our interest expense, less the cash interest equals our amortization. And again, if we subtract the amortization from the previous carrying value, there's a 1 penny rounding error, but it essentially takes us to the face value of $100,000. When we go to record the interest in years 1 and 2, we simply pull the numbers straight off that table. So for year 1, interest expense, we pull that off the table for the first line. Premium, the amortization, we pull that straight off the table. And the cash payment, we pull that right off the table. When we get to year 2, we pull the data off the second line, or the year 2 line, in that amortization table.